Today's Monday, October 19th, 2020. I'm back here on Bowen Island, about 9 days into a forced quarantine after my return from Italy. That nice about to go crazy point of sitting in the house a little too long and feeling the pressure to sit still or not feeling the threat of the government, feeling the eyes and ears of neighbors and friends who agree that it's a good idea to quarantine. Feeling all my own angst and ungroundedness after 9 days in the house. Feeling really good to be outside here and trying to ground. Trying to find my own center and peace after travels. Tuning in with this little waterfall behind me. Just here at the end of the road where the dead ends out here to the open ocean. Hearing the howl sound around Bowen Island. Had a really sweet blue heron come swooping down and circle around and then head out to the little rock island right out there, and he's still perched right there. Got the little cormorants diving for their fishes right there in front of me. Feels good to be out here. Taking some time to try to take care of myself today and just be alone in my own energy body and out in nature and alone with myself and away from my computer. I'm not fully away from the phone yet, but after this video, I finally just be with me and the nature here. And been really feeling my own addiction to the blue screens, to all the technologies, my iPhones and my MacBooks and my social medias and advertising for business and creating videos and editing videos and uploading videos, and the beauty that communication is and the addiction of spending so much time with it that I'm getting disconnected from being a human being. I can touch the stones and the earth around me. Italy was amazing. First time there, had an amazing experience. Seeing Italy, eating the food, seeing the old world country. The Hotel of Eremita, where we hosted our retreat, was a phenomenal experience. The retreat went really well. The people who came gave us amazing feedback. It was super satisfying to see that dream come to life. Fed my soul and seemed to be bringing in and creating the things that I want to see on this planet. So I'm back here in Bowen, but I only have a few more days. Not just of quarantine, but at the end of the month, Becky and I are packing up all of our things. We're selling our vehicles. We're putting our stuff in a shipping container, heading back towards Europe. Gonna land briefly in Portugal and start to explore some possibilities of places with a cheaper cost of living, maybe a simpler cost of living, and access to more of a global-minded community, and potential place for hosting retreats, and a place where if I'm working with my online business of offering out to men's circles or one-on-one sessions, that the money I'm charging for that can go as far as possible and not be so needy for a lot of exchange and a lot of money just to pay a rent or just to survive in a expensive place to live. So it's big change on the horizon. We're in the gamble of heading out already without all the answers of where we're landing and what's happening. We're clear that we're going to head to Portugal first, but we're in the big jump of life to lean into a new way of living, take a transition from one way to a new way, and try to create that reality as beautiful as we can for ourselves, and try to keep it grounded in practicality of really making it by simpling down, by being mindful of even the country or the space we live in. And that's what's going on. That's what's happening in the next big transition. Just in a few days. And right now we're packing the house up, figuring out what we're keeping, what we're shipping, what we're selling and giving away. Preparing the transition, which brings in more ungroundedness. Tapping into and feeling as much as we can the pulse of our global community. Listening to the fears around COVID, the government regulations around COVID, people's response to that. I personally don't feel it is necessary to wear a mask. I don't believe that it's helping anything, nor do I feel that the people who are asking us to wear the mask are doing it in our best interest. I don't feel there's being clear dialogue about any of this. There's not a allowance for people to have different opinions or to discuss. There's no platform or for scientists and doctors to speak across the globe about their professional opinions, but we're supposed to take a professional opinion of, there's a big raven right above me. Interpret that as you will. Yes. Yes. So I feel we're all being fed all kinds of different information, and I would say the mainstream seems to only be feeding you one narrative and attacking anyone who's not supporting that one narrative, despite how ludicrous that one narrative continues to go off into its own strange reality and is angry if anyone questions it. My first question since the beginning was, since when do all the nations of the earth agree on anything? How was it that overnight governments around the world agreed on what COVID was and what was the best way to handle it? I've never seen such a uniform rollout of a single plan and a single narrative. that in itself like sent up red flags in every direction for me. I was curious who has all the governments of the world on one email list and can hit send. This is what COVID is. This is how you handle it. This is what you should do in response to it before it's even out there. We should shut the world down. I'm curious how many people can identify what COVID-19 is. Do you need to be a doctor, a scientist? Do you need a microscope? Do you need a blood sample or a saliva sample? And when you see it, what does it look like? How does it behave? And is there uniform agreement on that? And do people die of COVID? Or do people die and also have COVID present in their body? None of this seems to be available to be talked about. The very organizations, the World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, all of these multinational organizations that seem to be the quote-unquote authorities on the matter, tell you one thing today and tell you the complete opposite the next day, but it doesn't change the rollout of the plan. They say the mask will not protect you from that, but you still need to wear it. They'll say that asymptomatic carriers, people showing no signs, cannot spread the disease, but you still need to quarantine for 14 days and wear a mask and social distance. This topic goes big and deep. It's affecting all of our psyches. It seems to be creating a lot of division between us because we can't agree on how we understand it or interpret it. It's the raven again. What is clear to me is that we have to ask ourselves, do we believe that the government has our best interest at heart? Do we know who the government is? Do we know who the CDC is, or the World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, or whatever? Every country seems to have their same thing they announce in the airports. Oh, the Italian government has their own version of a World Health Organization says that it's mandatory that you stay 1 meter apart and wear your mask to prevent the spread of this disease, which who knows what this disease is, and does that stop the spread of it? And they would have you be afraid that there's new cases. And yet, a year into this scenario, the deaths have not exceeded anything that we've seen in our past. Flu. We shut down the world for this. We isolate ourselves from each other. We're not allowed to gather in groups. Who tells you this stuff? Who? It seems no one knows that. All they know is that their boss tells them to pass this information on. To work on the airlines, we have to announce this. Here's our script on what we have to say. Here's what we have to enforce. If I don't, I could lose my job. And I think if we all get honest with ourselves, that's where the real fear is. I don't want to lose my job. This seems reasonable enough to me, I guess, whether I believe in it or not, that I'm not the one to make the decision. I'll just do what my boss tells me to do. I'll just carry the gun. I'll just march the people into the train that sends them off to the Holocaust showers and camps. Because if I don't, I might lose my job. How dare you have another opinion? How dare you think for yourself? And in these videos before, I've already stated, No one is allowed to speak for themselves. They say, where is your doctor's note? Where is the government official that has allowed you to say that? Has a doctor said they give you a medical exemption for not wearing a mask? But who is the doctor? Who is the someone else who could speak for me and my body? And why if some other man or woman over here who went to some institution over there, backed by some aristocrat or government sanctioned school of learning, if they tell you you have a valid reason, then you have a valid reason. But if you say you have a valid reason, who are you? Who are you? Just another human that they have no respect for. They only have respect for themselves, for their agenda, and for 100% compliance and agreement with their agenda. And if you don't agree with their agenda, they slowly start to checkmate you into a corner to where you will be stripped of all dignities, rights, monies, freedoms, threatened, shamed, outcasted by their masses. But their masses are who? Who are the masses that hear and agree and act as they're being told to, without question? And why is it that when they act without question that they are so upset to see someone else question or stand up for themselves, speak their own truth? It doesn't need to be backed by anyone else. It is just my truth, and I speak it. Am I not allowed to have my own truth? Not allowed by who? Is some other human's truth more important than mine? Does it override mine? Do not let them fool you with elected officials. The governments who drive you to wars. The governments who sacrifice their people over and over again and then blame the people for it. And turn you on your neighbors into snitches, into tattletales, into spies, into police. Not getting paid to police, but you must police each other. Don't let anybody break the rules, and if you catch them, here's the number, here's the email. Let us know who they are. We'll track them down. We'll find them, we'll imprison them. We'll punish them. Yes, the mask wearing infuriates me. It's humiliating. It's degrading. It is not good for my health to wear this mask on my face for an 8-hour plane ride. And oh, if the mask slips, they're on you. They're putting you on the dirty list. When you get off the plane, you will not be able to board another plane because you let your mask slip. And on the next plane, by the same airlines, they will feed you. And when they feed you, they say it's fine to take your mask off. The next 30, 40 minutes, everybody in the plane can have their mask off and eat. Good, cool, we can all eat. And in 30, 40 minutes, when you're done eating, put your mask back on. Cool. If it is so dangerous, this sneaky little virus can come through my mask and your mask, that you got to be 6 feet away just in case. And that if my mask is off, your mask doesn't work. And that if we all take our mask off while we eat, we didn't spread any germs in that closed plane, so we should all put our mask back on. Because now we might spread germs after we're done eating, but not while we were eating. But if you don't play the rules, you don't get to fly. Yeah? They figure out what to hold over you. I had someone tell me many years ago that people always think that they would never sell out. Millions of dollars, I would not sell out. And yet so many people, we sell out, not for millions, but for a $25 an hour paycheck, 2 weeks paid vacation, and a $500 deductible on our dental and health insurance. We sell out. Seeking security for ourselves and our family. Do not seek security in your governments. Do not seek security in your armies with your guns, in your jet fighter planes with your bombs. You will never know security through these channels. Security comes from knowing who you are within and not selling your soul to try to keep your human body alive a little bit longer than your neighbor. We are creating our reality every day, every moment. And if you want to live in a world where you wear a mask and your children wear a mask and where no one sees each other or congregates, think about the reality you're creating for yourself, the reality you're envisioning for yourself and your children and your grandchildren. Do you want a they to keep telling you what to do all day, every day, rolling out the new instructions on the television tomorrow of who you can see and who you can't see? Oh, I can't be with my dying mother and father. Oh, that sucks. I wish they would let me, but I guess they aren't gonna let me. So I guess I'll just stay in my house because they might find me or send some more of their people who listen to them to come arrest me and take me away. We have more beauty and creativity in us than this people. We have more life. We have more sovereignty. We have more health than they tell us we have. They say we need a vaccine for a pandemic. Convenient that they have all the answers. If you just keep handing them your power, your time, your money, they will save you. Don't look to yourself. Don't think for yourself. Don't trust your own heart. Trust the they that are experts. Who are they experts? They have told you that they are experts. That is why they are experts. Because those experts have trained with they. And they said that they are good. And you are not an expert, but they are. As usual, these forced mask wearing, these forced quarantines get me edgy, get me upset, get me unclear of where and how to channel my energy. When is the right time to stand up and speak my truth? When is the right time to resist? When is the right time for me to hold my tongue? And walk the middle path. And watch the unraveling of their own madness. sun is out, and it's a beautiful day. I think I'm done with the blue screen for now. I didn't know this rant was what was going to come out. Yeah, I send you my love. I send you my prayer that you open your heart to the strength and life flowing through you, to the wisdom flowing through you, that you learn how to trust that, learn how to hear that, learn how to receive it, and learn how to speak it in harmony with your own life, in harmony with the planet, not with the they. This is my blessing to you and all who have listened. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Soon.